Okay, this class will be working with core strength and oblique extension. So the obliques are here.
Before we start our practice, I wanted to let you know about my online programs and workshops. Whether you're new to Iyengar yoga and want to learn the basics in a systematic way, a seasoned practitioner looking to revisit the essentials, or a yoga teacher seeking inspiration, these programs and workshops are self-paced, allowing you to make consistent progress and revisit specific topics whenever you like. You can find the link in the description below. With that said, let's begin our practice today.
So we'll start with first Utthita Adho Mukha Svanasana. So we'll go down on the floor. And just bring your knees onto the floor. Have your hands a little bit forward. And have them shoulder width apart. From here, we're going to go into Vasisthasana. So first come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pressing the hands down into the floor, lift up from the floor to the arms, extend up, lengthening the trunk up and back. Press your heels back, move the front thighs back. So bring more weight into the hips, moving thighs back, extending the shin bone back. So you bring more weight into the heels. Press to the outer edges of the heels. And now press the inner heel, lift up through the inner leg. And then you come forward. Turn the left foot. Bring the weight onto the left hand. Bring the other hand over onto the hip. Press the foot into the upper edge of the foot and reach the arm up. Press and lift. Broaden, lift that top arm to move the top shoulder blade away from the spinal column and turn and look up at the head. Keep the hip lifting and then come back down. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Turn the feet. Lengthen. So both sides of the trunk are lengthening from the hands all the way through the outer shoulders, sides of the trunk, back to the hips, thighs back. And now coming forward again, you're going to come onto the outer edge of the foot. So you're on the bones of the foot. If you need to, if that was difficult, you can bring your foot to the front and just stabilize yourself. So press into the arm, lift up through the arm, turn the chest. If you're able to bring the foot over, hand on the hip, turn the chest, bring the lower hip up, and then reach the arm up. Turn and look up. So strong action with the arms lifting, strong action with the foot moving down, hips lifting, and then back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now lunge the right leg forward. Turn the back heel. Coming into first Parsvottanasana here. Straighten both legs. And then you're going to take both hands on the outer side of the right foot. If you need a block here, you can have a block to bring the hand on, pressing the hands down, lift up. If you don't need that block, press both hands down. Keep the forearm against that shin bone. So press it against the shin bone, whether the hands are on the floor or the hands are on the block. Lengthening back through that hip. Bring the right hand on the right hip. And then as you press down into that bottom hand, bring this shoulder and shoulder blade to turn toward the wall. Turn the chest. Keep the hips compact, so both hips moving toward the center. Tailbone moving away from you, lengthen through the crown of the head, and then reach the arm up. Keep reaching the arm up, turning from the back waist corner. Turn the chest. Use the breath, turning that with that exhalation. And then bring the hand down. Bring both hands back onto the floor. Turn the back foot, Parvottanasana. And then lunge forward again. Come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. So create that foundation through the hands, broadening the hands, lengthening back. Be on the front of the foot and the back of the foot. And now lunge forward with the left leg. Lift the back foot. Turn the back foot, but have enough length there. So you press the heel down. Be on the inner edge of the back foot. This outer hip moves back. And then take both hands on the outer side. If you're using the block, have the block on the outer side of the foot. Bring the hand down. Press the hand into that arm. Turn the back foot until you can feel that you really press down onto that back heel. And at the same time, draw this hip back. And then lengthen forward. So I'm pressing the bottom hand, lengthening forward. And then I'm going to turn the shoulder under, shoulder blade under, to turn the chest. Keep both legs straight, active. Bring the arm up, reach up through the arm, press the bottom hand, reach up, and turn and look up. Compact the hips. Legs are firm. Stay grounded in the back heel. Move the tailbone back, lift, and lengthen the crown of the head forward. And then bring your hands down. Come back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step that foot back. Lengthen. All right, and then walk forward. Bring your feet together. Lengthen forward. Bend the knees. Lift the heels up. Now, you can take one blanket, bring it behind the heels. If you can bring the heels on the floor, then you'll bring the heels on the floor. So press the heels, lengthening the front body. Take your block over to the side, and we're going to lift up the left arm. We're turning to the right. You're going to hook the arm, and then bring the hand back. Take the hand down onto the block. Turn. And then release. Okay, let's move to the wall. Make it a little bit easier. We use the wall. That will give us some ability to turn. Greater ability. So press the heels. Lengthen through the front thigh. Thighs are moving towards one another. Reach the arm up. Bring the arm over. So like that Parivrtta Trikonasana, you're turning that shoulder under. Now this time you're going to bring your hands to the wall. Have both hands to the wall. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn. So use the breath through the abdomen to turn from that left side toward the right side, toward the wall. Feel the abdomen turning against the thigh. So position your hands on the wall so that you have your balance and that you're able to get that length and turning. And then release. Okay. And we'll come to the other side. So shift your blanket. We'll continue at the wall. It's definitely more accessible for everyone. So bring your heels down. Now, I have a block, a half a block here, so I'm going to just show you. If you have a half a block, or if you needed more than that blanket, then have a full block. Okay, so now I'm first lengthening, reaching the arm up, turning. So I hold one thigh, and with that, I get that turning action. Bring the arm over the leg, walk it down, and then bring the hands to the wall. So instead of leaning back I'm slightly leaning forward, but keep the heels pressing down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. Use the breath to help you get that wringing action through the core, abdominal organs turning, waist corners turning, navel moving toward the lower back. And then release. Come back into Uttanasana now. Take your feet together. Walk forward, extend, let the abdominal area extend. And then walk the fingers back. Again, lift up and lengthen, extend, and then bend the elbows and bring the head down. Shift your weight forward to the front of the foot. Let the side trunk release, let the head release. Abdomen is moving toward the lower back. Spread the lower back. And then inhale, walk your hands forward. Bring your hands onto your hips. Inhale, come up. Okay, now we're going to go into another twist. This time, you'll use a blanket. You can use 2 blankets. Let's just do it with one first. Okay, so I'm going to come onto my left leg, and I'm turning the foot. Remember how we did it in Vasisthasana? We were on the outer edge of the foot. So you're going to be on that outer edge of the foot and sit on that outer edge. So the left sitting bone is on the heel, right sitting bone is on the ball of the big toe, and you're more on the edge of that foot. So not like this, but try and once you put your sitting bones there, press to get it more upright. Okay, now stabilize with this foot. And then if you need a little bit more height to get some more length, you can bring a blanket there. Now, also, if the foot was difficult, giving you pain with the foot on the floor, then you could have a blanket there as well. I don't like to take that blanket because you lose the traction that you can have with the foot. So if you do need height, bring the blanket over the top of the foot. And then take the other foot over. So this foot is a Tadasana foot. You're rotating that shin bone so you can bring it close. This is a closed twist. Everything is moving toward the center. And like Parsvottanasana, you're reaching up and you're bringing the arm over. So with that elbow, with the upper arm, you're pressing, lifting, and turning. So eventually you want the whole front thigh and the abdominal area in contact with one another. So slowly moving into that position, press into the foot, bring the knee back, and as you bring the knee back, it will help to turn the upper body. Hands on the wall, inhale, lengthen, exhale, turn. You can start to walk that arm down as you get a little bit more twisting. So you're bringing the thighs towards one another. You're bringing the thigh toward the abdomen, the back toward the thigh, using the arms at the wall, getting that length, exhale, turn. So the abdomen moving back, and also you can feel with your breath, as you exhale, you're turning. The outer abdominal muscles working. All right, and then release. Okay, we'll turn to do the other side. So take your blanket away. Again, you'll come onto the outer edge of that foot. So right now I'm on the front of the foot. As I sit back, I hook the sitting bone in the heel and I press the heel back, sitting on the sitting bone on the other bone of the foot. And then you can lift up, take that blanket. So when you turn the foot, you get more height. So you're lifting up. When you put the blanket, you're again lifting up and getting more height. So when we're doing any of our twisting, we want to maintain that lift of the lower back and the whole side of the trunk. So take the height that you need so that you can get that extension. And then you'll take your foot over, Tadasana foot, so you're on the inner and outer edge of the foot. You've got that secure, that firmness between the calf and the thigh. And then reach the arm up, take one hand to the wall, lean forward, and walk your arm down. So take some time to walk the arm down. You can press the thigh, move that arm down further so that you start to turn the upper back, turn the shoulder, and then inhale, lengthen up as you press your fingers into the wall. Move yourself away from that wall. So you're not leaning into the wall, but you're moving back until you can be over the foot, but also the whole length of the trunk is perpendicular to the floor. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, turn. If you need to reach in there and grab the abdomen and turn it, you can do that too, so that it makes a little bit more space. Stay with your breath. And then exhale, release. Okay. And then you'll come down, take your blanket away, and we'll stay at the wall now. So we're going to come down onto the knees, and I'm going to bend the right leg. Have the foot in line with the knee. Press this ankle down, press the shin bone down. Have the hip directly over that knee. As you externally rotate this leg, moving it out to the side, you're going to then press the foot into the wall. So you need enough distance. If I press this foot into the wall, then this hip comes out. So I'm going to move this knee out just slightly, keeping this leg engaged. So as I press the foot into the wall, I lift the kneecap and draw the upper thigh back into the pelvis. So the pelvis is receiving the leg. The femur bone is moving into the hip socket. And then you're going to reach the arms up, and you'll start to come over laterally. So this whole side of the trunk is lengthening. You can take one hand onto the hip and take the other arm back over to that wall. Just pause there. Press the foot, lift the knee, move that right buttock forward, turn the chest, and then take the hand down. From there, slide the hand down, turn the chest. So you're lengthening this whole side, from the hip to the knee, extending. Bring the arm up, lift, and then turn the palm and start to slide the hand down further. Keep pressing into the mounds of the toes so this leg is drawing back. And then from there, rotate the arm over the head. Extend. See if you can touch the wall. Lengthen. Turn the chest. And then inhale, come up. Turn that foot. Bring it in carefully, and then turn to do the other side. So again, measure your distance. Have the heel in line with the knee. Have the foot in such a way that you can press and draw back. And as you draw back, this external rotation on this thigh, cut the buttock under, opening through the front body. Extend the arms, reach the arms up. Now press that back foot, press the ankle, shin bone down, and then begin to lengthen laterally. This time bring both arms over, so you're extending from the back waist corners through the fingertips. Bring one hand onto the wall, extend the other arm up, and then bring the left buttock forward, turn the chest, and now bring the hand down a little bit further and start to slide down, lengthening. Keep the other arm lifted. Turn the palm, palm facing up, slide it down toward the ankle, and then reach the other arm over the head. Turn. Turn the chest. Look back at the wall, see how close you are to the wall. If your fingertips touch the wall, press and turn. Left buttock forward, right thigh back, turn the chest. Inhale, come up, turn, come back to the center, go into downward dog. Bring your heels to the wall. Since you're near the wall, press the heels, move the thighs back, make space through the front body from the pubic bone to the navel to the chest. Breathe into that. Keep the heels pressing like you did at the wall just now. Lifting the knees, moving the thighs back. All right, and then come down. Okay, you're going to stand up, stand in Uttanasana. We're going to go into Parsvottanasana. So you're going to bring your hands to the chest. You're going to bend the knees and jump the feet 4.5, 5 feet apart. Inhale, jump. Okay. Get a nice wide stride, Utthita Parsvakonasana. On the outer edges of both feet, both legs are long, kneecaps are lifted. Externally rotate the right leg. And then from there, bend the knee. When you bend the knee, keep this arm extending over that back foot to keep the trunk between the two legs. Bend the knee, release the right hip down. Turn and look over the front hand. Keep that back thigh moving back. And then come forward, lengthening over that front leg. Bring the hand down onto the floor or onto the block. Reach the arm over, press into the back foot. Keep the back thigh lifted. Turn the chest and bring the arm over the head. Coming up, lift up, turn the feet. Now, if you needed a block, if you didn't quite get to the floor, you didn't feel that you had that support, then you can have the block to that side. So again, coming down, bend the knee. Keep this inner back thigh lifted. Straight leg, bend the knee, drop that left hip. And then lift up through the arm, extend and lengthen. Bring the hand down. Press down. Move the arm over. So you're turning. You're turning the back waist. You're turning the back chest. And then turning, look under that arm. Keep the back thigh lifted. Keep in contact with the knee and the thigh. Turn the chest. Inhale, come up. Turn the feet. And then walk the feet together. Okay, now come down onto your knees. Bring the feet apart. Be on the fronts of the ankles. Here, you're going to move your hands on your hips. From here, slide the buttocks down with the hands and curve the upper back. So lengthening the front thigh, opening the front groin, extending the buttock down to get that lift from the lower back to the middle back to the upper back. And then lean back. Lean back, lift the chest up toward the ceiling. Come back up. And now extend the arms behind you. Rotate the shoulders, extend the arms, press the feet down. And then again, move the buttock down, but this time keep the arms up. Move the buttock down, move the tailbone in. Separate the hands, press the hands, the fingers away from you. Move the buttock forward, tailbone forward, extend the arms, and then bring the hands onto the heels.
Press down and lift up. Shift your weight, buttock forward. And then come up,
Come down. Forward Virasana. Knees wide, toes together, lengthen forward. Okay, now come down on your hips. Be even on your hips, sitting evenly. Bring your hands behind your knees. Now get that lift of the lower back that you had in Ardha Matsyendrasana. When you were sitting on your foot, you were sitting on the blanket. Keep that lift of the lower back. Lean back, balance, lengthening up. Hands at the back of the knees. Press the backs of the knees into the hands. Lift the chest. Extend the toes up. Extend the heels up. Bring the back ribs in. Maintain the lift of the chest. Navasana. Abdomen moving toward the lower back. And then bend the knees. Extend the legs out. Bring the fingertips behind you. Lean back. We're going to do it again. This time we're going to do it with straight legs. If you need to bend your knees again, you can. So you can come into it the same way. Or we'll go a little bit further, bending the elbows. Lean back. Lift the legs up. Lift the back body. And then reach the arms up. Palms are in line with your shoulders. Feet lifting up. More in line with your head. Press up through the mounds of the toes. Come up. Come forward. Catch the sides of the feet. Concave the back. Bend the elbows. Lengthen forward. Abdomen moving toward the lower back. Both sides of the navel. Lifting up and moving back. Straight arms. And then bend the knees, cross the legs, and jump back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lengthening the lower back. And we're coming into Parsva Adho Mukha Svanasana. So take your right hand and catch hold of the left calf. Use that hand, turn. You can bend the elbow, keep both legs grounded, turn the chest. And then coming back. Extend and lengthen the arms, extend and lengthen the legs. Keep that hand pressing and lengthening up like you did in Vasisthasana. Hold on to the calf. Bend the elbow, bottom elbow, and look up underneath that straight arm. Turn the back body. Keep the legs firmly pressing back and down into the heels. And then back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Jump forward. Uttanasana. Concave back. And then bend the knees and sit. Straighten the legs. Dandasana. Now, you may need a blanket. So you can take the blanket, sit on the blanket. If you need more height than this, then have 2 blankets. So again, here, you want to be able to have enough height that you'll be able to get that lift. Thighs moving down, back lifting. So you're going to come into Janu Sirsasana. So you're going to bend the left leg, bring the knee to the side, and then you'll reach forward, hold onto the foot, And just notice where your trunk is. So if your trunk is over here, you can start with that hand on the foot or on the outer shin and turn. So you bring the trunk over that front leg. If you can hold the heel, do that. Lengthen forward. And then begin to come forward. Take your hands either on the sides of the foot. If you need a strap, you have a strap. Elbows are lifted. You can go down further. Hips moving down, lower back lengthening, middle back. You can catch the wrist, then catch the wrist, and then release down. Thighs descending, backs of the knees descending. Elbows moving forward, looking slightly forward. And then coming back, concave back, lift up, reach the arms up, and then bring the hands down. Come back to Dandasana, and bring the foot back. You can also turn the blanket to the side. So if you had two blankets, or if this was a little high, and you weren't able to bring the leg all the way down, then you can shift it to the side so it's at an angle, and then bring the foot in so that thigh is nicely on the floor. Okay, coming forward again, we're going to lengthen either hand on the calf, reach up, or hand onto the outer foot, reach up and turn, bringing the trunk more over that front leg. Keep this outer leg down, outer thigh down, reach up, turn. Make sure the calf is not stuck. Sometimes it gets stuck on the mat. So have it unstuck so you can extend the heel and lift up. And then turn, hands on the foot, lift up, back ribs in, slide the front ribs forward. Elbows are lifted. If you can go further, then you take your hand on the wrist. Elbows bending, lengthening forward. Bend to go forward more. Move your elbows toward the end of your mat. And then wherever your head is, just release it down so it's between your arms, not hanging down, unless you can come down further, and then you can bring the head onto the leg. But if you're bending the neck and the head is dropping and creating tension in your upper neck, then stay with the head lifted and move the elbows forward. Thighs descending. Feel that bent leg pressing down. Press as it presses down. Turn you toward that straight leg. And then to come up, concave the back, lift up, lift the arms up, Ardha Vasisthasana. Take the hands back, and then bring the leg out, Dandasana. Sit upright, roll the shoulders back, back of the head in line with the upper back. Okay, now you probably only have one mat, so I'm going to turn on the mat. We're going to come into Parivrtta Janu Sirsasana. So I'm taking the right leg back again, or the right leg back, and then the left leg out to the side. Okay, I'm going to come over that leg, holding onto the outer side of the foot, and then finally bringing the thumb onto the big toe side. Turn the trunk. Keep extending and lengthening. Bring that arm further as far as you can. Bend the elbow. Bring the elbow onto the inside of that leg and turn the chest. So as you hold that toe, bring the elbow down. Depending on how far you can bring it down, you can always have a block there also, if you can't bring it all the way to the floor. But press it against the leg, press it against the shin, and then lean back. Lean back, lift the chest, lengthen. If you can take your arm all the way to the floor, bring the elbow forward, turn that shoulder, turn the chest, and then bring the arm up, and then bring the arm over the head. So taking the hand on the outer foot, catch the foot, and turn and look up. And then come back. Reach the arms up. Bring that leg out. Now, if you don't need to sit on the blanket, you don't have to use the blanket. Use the blanket if the lower back is sinking. And then bring the other leg out to the side. Press that leg down. Come forward. Reach forward. Reach forward. Bring the elbow to the inner leg, or have that block, or you can have a blanket there. But press the arm into the leg. Take hold of the big toe. Press this back leg back. Turn. Lengthen. Lengthen the chest. And then take hold of the toe. Turn the hand. Reach the arm up. Lift up. Now press down into the elbow. Press the arm into the leg. Come back, and then bring the arm over. Walk that elbow forward. Turn any amount. Lean back slightly. Look up underneath the arm. And then bring that arm up. Bring both legs out. Hold on to the toes. Come forward. You can have a block there. This is a low block. If you have a higher block, you can bring your head onto the block. Main point is keep the thighs down, lengthen the trunk forward, and come down only that amount. Adjust your block. So just between the eyebrows, the forehead is there. Thighs down, backs of the knees down. Extend the heels away from you. Receive the legs back into the pelvis by pressing the heels, drawing the knees, and move the thighs back. Inhale, come up. Turn, come into Paschimottanasana. Take a block between the legs. So again, sitting on the blanket if you need the blanket. I'm showing with the blanket. So you can see that lift, adjust the buttocks. Buttocks moving down, lower back lifting. Catch hold of the feet. Descend the thighs. Lift up to extend from pubic bone to the navel, navel to the sternum bone. So first you make that space and that elongation, and then you bring the head down. Keep the elbows lifted. And again, you can move the elbows forward. So just not sinking the arms, because that drops the chest. You sink into the chest. So keep the elbows lifted to maintain that extension from the elbow to the upper arm to the shoulder. And then as you're there, you can move forward a little bit. As you're there, a few more breaths. And if that block is too high, of course, you can adjust the block depending on you, your practice, your back. The back is rounding, then you take a higher block. And then release, come up. And we'll come with legs up the wall. Without any support, we'll take Shavasana like that. So bring your hips to the wall, come sideways, bring the legs up, move the hips in so that the legs will be all the way against the wall, and straighten the legs. Once the legs are straight, hips are down, you can bring the legs out to the side. We're in Upavistha, so now you're making some space there. Bring your arms out to the side. Not too wide, just out to the side. So you can just adjust accordingly. You can either have your legs like this, see how much space you can have there comfortably. You can always bring a strap around outer edge of the feet to keep the legs from going too far so you can relax. If that's not relaxing, then just bring the legs straight up and let the legs move down into the pelvis and just observe how the abdomen will soften. Relax the breath. Keep the legs descending down. Just adjust your shoulders so that they're even, the left and the right, and the back of the head. So the back of the head, we have two bones, the occipital bones, so you can find those bones and lengthen them away from your neck so that the chest remains lifted toward the chin, and the chin is moving down toward the chest. So we'll take Shavasana like this. If you have a block near you, you can take the block and bring it onto the abdomen. Just allow the abdomen to become quiet and descend back toward the lower back. Keep the toes together, the heels together. And even though the legs are actively lifting up, let the legs move down into the pelvis. Pelvis is receiving the legs, feeling that lower back extension, softening, abdomen spreading and widening and relaxing. Start to feel your breath, that movement of the breath, the movement of the block. I'll set a timer for you, so it'll be 5 minutes. So just stay in Shavasana for 5 minutes. Just allow yourself to completely release into this. Start by lengthening your exhalations, letting the exhalations go. And then finally come back to just a regular breath. Allowing the breath to be automatic at that point. Letting the mind go, letting the breath go. Releasing the body downward. Namaste.